Classic Whitney were a series of two concerts that were aired live on HBO in 1997 and were performed by Whitney live from Washington, D.C. Now, every time someone brings this concert up, fans do get divided opinions pertaining to the inconsistent performances in the shows. But I, for one, get thoroughly excited because I absolutely adore the sound of her voice around this era and how fluidly she sang in these concerts. But there's a catch to that. There is a striking difference between her first concert and the second one that she performed as part of her special. The first one is seemingly more flawless when it comes to her vocals, but in the second one, within a matter of a day or two, something happened to her voice and she couldn't sing as well as she did in the first setting. I don't know why that was the case, but the first concert is so good. It is sung so well by Whitney, and I don't know what happens in the second concert because it's quite the opposite.
Until you find the love you missed, you're nothing.
So the contrast between night 1 and night 2 is so huge that the first night of Classic Whitney can be easily called one of her best concerts, and the second night is actually quite the opposite, to say the least. But I'm creating this video so people don't underestimate the first night of this two-night special, because that features some of her most spellbinding vocal performances. I'm not even exaggerating. I think Classic Whitney Night 1 is one of those concerts that I listen to the most. The separate performances of those concerts, I have saved them in my phone and I listen to them repeatedly, and I don't think there's any other concert that I've ever listened to as much as I listened to the Classic Whitney concert Night 1, and that is simply because of how beautiful, perfect and fluid she sounds.
But if it's all the same to you, baby, I ain't gonna stop you from saying goodbye. I love you.
It almost sounds as fluid and as well put together as a studio recording, and that is one of the reasons why I love the Night 1 of Classic Whitney concert.
Yes, still a chance.
Not only was her chest voice, which is one of the greatest attributes about her vocals, if you're a fan you know that, was at its smoothest, most powerful and oozing with agility. She performed with a bigger orchestra for this concert, which made the performances sound even better.
When there's no one there, hold your tight.
Like the band had several added horns and violin sections on top of a regular band, which made it sound even more grand and extravagant. The first night was actually one of those musical moments from her where she's at her melodious best. She's singing with such fluidity, completely submerging her voice with the band and the music, and the whole place dramatically elevates when she reaches the song's climax. But that wasn't new for Whitney. She always did that with her live performances, but more specifically in the first night of Classic Whitney concert, her notes, her runs, her riffs, and every other vocal dynamic that she put in a performance beautifully amalgamated with the rest of the song, and it all executed with such perfection that it could easily be released as a studio recording on its own.
Has anybody here seen my old friend Martin? Can you tell me where he's gone?
Like a performance of God Bless the Child from the first night, specifically, not from the second night, even though there are some moments in the second night of God Bless the Child which were beautiful, but the first night is just mind-blowing.
Lots of friends crowding around your door.
It is one of her all-time best performances in my opinion. Her display of runs and inflections is jaw-dropping here, like what she does in this particular part.
Empty pockets don't ever really ever make a grave.
Her isolated vocals can be taken out from here and turned into a quote-unquote new song if only this level of creativity was being shown by her label at this point.
Money, you seem to have lots of friends running round your door. Oh.
Then you have her medley performances of songs of Aretha Franklin, Dionne Warwick and Diana Ross, which are absolutely splendid and sung with such ease that you can hardly believe that she's as usual improvising in these performances as well. And she's still singing with such fluidity and she's not letting go of the melody, even though she's hugely improvising in all of these performances.
You just remember when I told you the day that I set you free. Oh, ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep me from you.
This is the part that I like about this concert the most. Her voice is so relaxed and she's singing with such ease, fluidly sailing through the songs in her comfortable middle range and remaining melodious throughout her performance.
Because if you, me, don't you know that I need you? Ain't no way.
And despite all these technicalities, she does not lose the emotion behind the song or her ability to tell a story and narrate the lyrics in her own fashion or even interact with the audience in the middle.
Oh my God. Sometimes you laugh, and sometimes you cry.
Diana Ross medley is also sung with such perfection that all those songs can be separately released in a new album.
But love taught me who was the boss.
Her pitch is so comfortable to the ears, and it just sounds even as she tackles all the highs and the lows of the songs, if you know what I mean. Aside from the I Will Always Love You performance, I don't know what happened on that performance, but maybe she was tackling some nerves as she always does when she's performing this song. Aside from that one particular song, the entire first night is filled with performances that showcase that at this point Whitney didn't even have to put much effort into making a song sound as beautiful and as soulful as she did here. She was just flying through those classics.
Take me back, consider me please. If you won't get that door, I can't get up off my knees. I just been so blue.
Sadly, she couldn't replicate those vocals in the second night, and as it happens with most things in showbiz, people tend to forget the good but pay more attention to the bad. So her second night gives the entire two-part special a bad reputation. People completely ignore that she delivered such a flawless performance in the first night because all they can talk about is the second night.
Any day.
Hope this concert, specifically the first night of Classic Whitney, gets its flowers, and that if her estate ever decides to release it, they pay special attention to the fact that it's from the first night and not from the second, because she totally blew the roof off the place that particular day.
Didn't you love the things they stood for? Didn't they try to find some good for you and me? And we'll be free.
This was all for this video. Thanks for watching. It was my first time where I narrated something related to Whitney, even though I've been putting together videos for a long time, and I have a lot more to say about some other stuff as well. So if you liked it, I'll come up with some other topics soon. Bye bye.